What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Both of my unpaid actors are here supporting this intro. If you are new here, my name is Carly. I'm a mindset and life upgrade mentor. I teach you how to rewire your thought patterns and change your belief systems about yourself so that you can start creating your desired reality. The way that you create your desired reality is by showing up in your life in the same way that the version of yourself who lives your desired reality would show up. And in this video today, we're going to talk about a technique that you can use to start building micro habits in your current life that your ideal desired self would have. So that way you start to build a foundation and you build momentum towards showing up as that version of you. Now, the reality is when we think about the upgraded version of ourselves, there's probably a lot of things that you would like to start doing in your life that version of you does that you are currently not doing for whatever reason it may be. Like you're just not showing up in that way. I know for me personally, I have done this so many times in my life where I've had this idea of like, yeah, I'm gonna glow up my life. And then I go and I open up a Word document and I write down this whole outline of all of these things that I'm going to do and all of these things that I'm going to start implementing in my life in order to hit this massive glow up. And let me tell you right now, that has never worked out because you overwhelm yourself with like 25 different habits of this whole new version of yourself that you're supposed to wake up and start being tomorrow. And the reality is, that is just not how we are designed to be. We are not designed to just start implementing all of this change into our life. The way that our minds work is to create familiarity. So when we go and implement like 25 different things into our life that we want to start doing, that's why it's so common that they never actually stick or you fall off of them because it's just too much. It's too overwhelming. Your mind is going to resist it and you just fall back into the same patterns. And it leads to this constant cycle of frustration with yourself because, time passes and you're like, I haven't done any of those things. But the reality is, it's just not realistic to do it that way. And look, that's not to say that I'm preaching be realistic because that is not me at all. I am all about you have your dreams and your ideal reality and your desires and nothing is out of reach for you, okay? But one thing that I always preach on my channel is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So when we can combine our spiritual experience with our human experience, then we are just going to be able to optimize what it is that we can create in this reality. So the best way to optimize the humanness side of us is to come to the understanding that like, okay, we're going to resist a bunch of change all at once. How can I work with my own mind to create the habits of my ideal self and become that version of me through those things in a way that is going to allow them to actually stick? And the strategy that you're going to be using for this is very fun because you're making it a game. It is called winning the day. This technique of winning the day was actually inspired by Andy Frisella's Power List. If you don't know who Andy Frisella is, he is the owner of the fitness supplement company First Form. He's also the inventor of 75 Hard. But before he invented 75 Hard, he invented the Power List. He designed the technique of the Power List as a way to build momentum in your life, either if you were like really depressed and down, or you just needed to build some kind of momentum in your life in some way, where in the morning you write down 3 things that you prioritize getting done. And you can say that you won the day if you get those 3 things done. It doesn't matter if you don't do anything else. If you get those 3 things done that you top prioritized at the beginning of your day, then you won the day. Now, the way that we are going to be using something similar here in order to build the habits of your ideal self and start implementing things that you've been wanting to implement in your life, we're first going to start by grabbing a pen and paper, and you are going to brain dump a list of things and habits that you've been wanting to adopt that when you think about your ideal self, who lives in your ideal reality, like the dream character version of yourself, what are some of the habits that they do that you would like to implement into your life? And these are going to be completely individual to you, okay? It could be a variety of different things in the categories of physical or mental and spiritual. But what I really want you to focus on here is micro habits. Things that you can do in 10 to 15 minutes that you can start realistically implementing into your day on a day-to-day basis. Maybe yours is waking up at a certain time every day. Maybe it's doing a consistent skincare routine every night. Maybe it's going on a 10-minute walk in the morning. Maybe it's reading for 10 minutes. Maybe it's journaling for 10 minutes. Maybe it's regarding a skill. Maybe you want to learn a language, so it's practicing on Duolingo or dreaming Spanish for 10 minutes. Maybe it's you want to get better at doing your makeup, so you spend 10 to 15 minutes watching makeup tutorial videos every day. day. Like, again, it's going to be individual to you. And when you think about the dream version of yourself who is living in your dream reality, I'm sure that you can think of things that they do that you would like to start doing in your life that you just have not been able to make stick yet. So that is what you're going to write down. You're going to write down 10 to 20 of them, give or take. Next, you are going to look at that list and you are going to circle the 3 that you would like to make your main priority focus for the next 30 days. And I recommend mixing up the categories that you choose them from so you have a little bit of variety where you feel like you're working towards something in your physical goals, your mental, your spiritual, a skill set, whatever. And then that is your new win the day micro habit list. That is the game that you are playing with yourself for the next 30 days. You cannot say that you won the day unless you do those 3 things. So every day you are going to write either on your planner or you can get a little pad of sticky notes and write them with a little box next to it with the thing, with the goal, and check it off when you're done with it. And that is going to be your new checklist. When you check off every single thing, you can say that you won the day. The goal is to win the day for the next 30 days. At the end of the day, reality is a game. So let's make this shit a game. This strategy right here, this is how you chase real dopamine in your life. If you don't know what dopamine is, it is a chemical that gets released in our brain. It is responsible for functions like motivation, our reward system. It's a feel-good hormone. It's the thing that we're now tanking the fuck out of now that we have access to instant scrolling on Instagram and TikTok and Netflix. But this is how you chase the real dopamine, not these fake, cheap dopamine electronic hits that we have access to, okay? This is a real reward system. This is, I have these goals that I'm setting for myself that are in alignment with my desired self and my desired reality, and I'm showing up for them every single day, and I am winning my day by doing these things. Like, that's a real reward system, you feel me? You're gonna feel really good even just one day after doing this, but especially multiple days stacked on top of each other because you are showing up for your desired self. You are being that version of you by completing the habits. And when you do that, you are no different than your desired self. Like, you are showing up as them. Not only does that feel really good, but you are now creating real dopamine in your brain, which is going to make you feel good anyway, because it's the feel good chemical. Like, that's what it does. And you're now replacing these cheap dopamine hits that don't actually get you anything and actually make you end up feeling worse because you're just doom scrolling. And after you do that for a while, you just feel shitty, right? With things that are actually going to get you closer to where you want to go in life. Like, you are going to feel so good with that replacement. And then after 30 days, when you feel like you've locked those 3 habits in, you go back to your list and you circle another 1 or 2 and you add those in. Now you are just building habits month by month, micro at a time. And then if you start this month by adding in 3 habits, and then every month after that, you add in a habit, in a year's time, you're going to now have added 15 habits of your ideal self into your life. 15 habits is a lot. Like, that is a good rate to be adding these things in, and you're giving yourself time and you're going at a pace that is actually realistic for the way that your mind works, to where it's not going to resist the change and it's not going to resist the consistency, and you're doing it in a way that makes it fun because you're making it a game. Like, think about a year from now having 15 things that your ideal self does that are now as a part of your routine. You're going to be 15 steps closer to your ideal self when you do that, and that means you're going to be 15 steps closer to your ideal life. So after this video, do not waste any time. You do not need to wait for the top of the month. You don't need to wait for the first. You don't need to wait for the new year. This is something that you can start doing right now and get excited to start playing this game starting tomorrow of whenever you're watching this, okay? You're gonna take your pen and paper, you're gonna write down 10 to 20 things, and these 10 to 20 things are totally unique to you and whatever your specific goals are, so don't hold yourself back. I'll give you my examples of mine if you would like. For my physical one, it is to take my vitamins every day because I don't be doing that. And I never have been probably consistent longer than 7 days at a time. My ideal self is a micronutrient efficient baddie, and I'm not being that right now. So that's number 1. Number 2 is meditate for 10 minutes a day because I have not been doing that lately. And meditation has literally changed my life when I've been consistent with it, and I've just simply not been consistent with it lately. So we're going to be doing that. And then my last one is to read for 10 minutes minimum every day. I'm going to start at 10 minutes, but I would really like to get into a habit of just generally enjoying reading more. But you start small. You start small. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to go read for an hour every day. That's where micro habits are efficient. So again, those are just examples of mine. But again, yours can be totally unique to you. There's like no wrong answer. There's nothing that you should be doing. It's more about what it is that you want to start taking on right now that you are going to feel good about, that's going to make you feel like you are winning. So that is what I got for y'all today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below and have fun with this. Go start winning your days, and I will see you in the next video.